good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. But currently, it's 7:30 in the morning for me. Don't ask what. Well, no, actually. Well, I'm not at work today. I'm not at CBBC because I booked the day off thinking that I'd be at my other job. But I'm not at my other job. So I tried to get my day back, but the day had already gone because they'd already filled my place for the day. So I've just got a day off. But instead of having a day off, I've got up at 6 o'clock, got myself sorted. I'm going to film some reaction videos and then I've got to make some prop trees. That's my life today, but I'm actually really excited. And I feel like a go-getter, a get-it-done girl, if you will. Little reference there. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be reacting to the next step, season 8, episode 14, which is the first episode of the next step, season 8B. Let's do it again. B. But yeah, it's the first episode of the second half of the season, which only came out yesterday for me. So I've dodged a few spoilers because when I'm flicking on TikTok, I then see the start of something and I'm like, bye. And I've done all right so far, to be honest. But I've got to let you in on a little secret, you know. I watched the first episode last night. I watched it with my fiance because we really wanted to. So this video is a re-reaction, but I've got a lot of thoughts. So trust me, this video will be entertaining if you like my opinionated thoughts, because spoiler, didn't really like the episode. A lot of things that I'm just like, why is that happening? Okay, so this episode is called What Did I Miss?
Take a seat, take it from me, 'cause I got your back.
Okay, we've got an opening number, everybody, and Kenzie's leading it. Yes, girl.
I feel so inspired right now. A lot of my friends left the studio to follow their dreams, and I'm more motivated than ever to make my dreams come true.
I really like how Kenzie's coming in, and it reminds me of Summer in episode 14 of season 7 when she's bringing in the B Troop dancers as the new A Troop going to nationals. Kenzie is introducing them and leading the way. I like it.
Your mind over matter.
Jude looked so good in that little close-up then. Oh, and I really like the song. It's a bop. But please, where is the season 8B soundtrack? Why hasn't it been released yet?
Ever since Nick split up B Troop to make the new A Troop, I've had mixed feelings about this team. Of course I want to go to nationals, but it's been lonely without Maya.
And Grace as well. Grace has really stepped up. I'm very impressed. Usually I'm just like, oh, Grace is good, but Grace is standing out for me.
I hope I can handle it.
Dylan's talking head is really kind of not framed the same as everyone else, and it's jarring to me because like everybody else you can see the top of their head. Dylan, it's kind of like full head down, and it makes them look really tall, but they're not. They're really short.
It finally feels real that we're A Troop. We're technically the best dancers at the studio right now.
Does anyone else think Xander sounds like Aussie?
Kenzie, get down, get down.
Richelle is so beautiful.
A Troop's throwing a party, and the party's supposed to be for you. They just really wanted to do this for you, and they'll be crushed if the party's ruined. Can you please pretend like you didn't see anything? Okay, fine. Okay, perfect. Let's go. After Step Inside, Richelle signed with Moxie and has been getting a ton of auditions in Los Angeles. She leaves tomorrow. So even though she knows about it...
First of all, that edit was not good because Kenzie's mouth did not move at the same time as saying her words.
She leaves tomorrow. So even though she knows about it...
Which means Emily filmed that, recorded that in ADR. No, it is ADR. In ADR? I don't know. But that was so obviously not the right lines. But what I don't get is, why is the party only for Richelle? Like, the party's for Richelle because she's leaving, going to Los Angeles, but Kingston's going to London. Lily's supposedly going to London with him. Piper's going to New York. Amy's going to New York. Finn's going on tour of Radiation. Like, they're all leaving. Because Kenzie didn't say, oh, everyone else has already left and moved on and Richelle's still here, but now we've decided we're going to throw a little party. Because I get Richelle's been there the longest, okay? But it just seems a bit like old A Troop don't know that Richelle's been there the longest, really, because they haven't seen her. Brandon, Xander has, because Xander's been there before. But yeah, why not have the party for everybody? Okay, so let's talk about the white wall. I was shocked that Cleo wasn't there, being completely honest, because what has Cleo moved on to? I know that she didn't make A Troop, so then she was glad that Step Inside asked her to be part of the show, but I would have thought she'd be worked back into the plot now, and like, I don't know, just still a main character, because why was she on the White Walls for the first half of the season? If the main characters were in the White Walls for season 8A, why are the main characters not in the White Wall for 8B? Or maybe they are, but why isn't Cleo one of those main characters then? Confused me, because if we're seeing Heath come back, that's quite a big spoiler, because now we know that Heath's probably going to be on A Troop. Yeah, I don't know, I miss Cleo.
With Nick gone overseas to meet Moxie's family, I'm the dance captain and temporary studio head.
Let's talk about this plot, shall we, guys? It's happened again. An inexperienced young adult has been left in charge of the studio. Why? Why is this happening? Okay, Nick is overseas. Why has Nick decided to go away overseas when there's things to be done and there's no other responsible adult in charge? For all of the people that take classes at the next step, are they now going to Kenzie with their issues? Is Kenzie sorting out the scheduling? It's unbelievably unrealistic. So she's an adult, but she's a young adult. She's never done this before. It's very risky. Like, you can't, realistically, Kenzie's now got to be there 24 hours. Or as long as the working day is, and as long as there is people in the studio, Kenzie's got to be there. It makes no sense why to put her in charge. Secondly, why is Nick meeting Moxie's family? In the actual season, we saw that they're an item, supposedly. They implied it. They didn't explicitly say, this is my girlfriend, Moxie. They just came in together, they're an item, it was his +1, whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it's so empty. It's like, I don't care about Nick and Moxie. We haven't seen their relationship develop. It's just been in a couple of scenes. Why is this man gone on holiday when he needs to be at work? And why is it being pushed on us that this relationship is amazing and we should really care? I don't care. I don't care about Moxie. All I care about with Moxie is whether Finn is getting on well at Radiation, if she's going to treat Richelle right now, she's signed her, and her as a professional, in a professional capacity. I don't care about her love life.
Excellent. Thank you again for taking over the studio while I'm away. This trip to Bora Bora.
And why on earth is he thanking Kenzie as if she's able to do this job? She might be totally fine. She might be very reliable. But it's the irresponsibility of putting somebody in charge who doesn't have any qualifications, who hasn't done this before. And you haven't just gone for a day to elsewhere and you just need somebody to lock the door at the end of the day. You've gone to a whole other country. Why not just, there's Miss Kate, there's Miss Angela, Riley, even Emily, Michelle. There are 5 people there that Nick could have called up and said, hey, you're not supposed to be around. No, you're not around, are you, for a week, and you can just cover the studio for me while I go away? And I just don't get, plot-wise, why they've had Nick go away. Because I'm pretty sure Miles was available for the entire filming of season 8, right? Because I talked to Miles. He's my friend. And he lives in Toronto. So it's not like, oh, what do we do? Miles is unavailable and we need somebody to run the studio. Let's get the inexperienced child to do it. Adult, young adult, whatever. If Miles was available, why could he not be in the studio? Because, like I said, I've seen this episode. There's nothing in it that wouldn't have worked with Miles being there. There's no reason Kenzie needs to be studio head. None. At all. It would all work with Miles as studio head still. Nick. I don't get it. And it's really bugging me. Really bugging me.
And Moxie's mother is as lovely as Moxie is beautiful.
Do I care? I don't care.
Oh, I've got to go. It's this one's empty and it's fresh coconut o'clock. But
You've got this, Kenzie. I believe in you. All right, bye.
Responsible. Very responsible, Nick. And you know what? I liked Nick as a studio head. I really felt like he came into his own and he was really starting to develop in season 8 as a great studio head. He was standing up to the kids more, he was being more authoritative, he was being more stern and less nervous and anxious about things, especially now he didn't have Emily, he had to step up. Now he's gone 2 steps down and he's gone abroad. What? Sorry, I've really gone on about this. We're only 6 minutes into the episode, but I just think it's a huge mistake. And if there's an actual reason for it, fine. But I genuinely cannot see an actual reason why Miles could not be Nick in the studio office instead of Miles as Nick in Bora Bora.
So what's it like now that you're a professional dancer?
I actually booked a little part dancing in a yogurt commercial.
I like that because everyone's got to start somewhere. You know, it's good to show that Richelle hasn't just signed and automatically got a world tour, because that's not how life works.
So just open your hand and close your eyes.
The last time he asked me to do this, he put a bug in my hand.
When? When did that happen? It would actually be nicer, I think, if Aussie that she said open your hand and she does it straight away, close her eyes, showing that she trusts him, rather than saying, oh, the last time this happened, I did not trust Aussie. And then Aussie says, trust me. And she says, okay. Show, not tell. You don't need to tell us that Richelle now trusts Aussie. Show us that she now trusts Aussie by just having her do it, rather than having a whole 10 seconds extra telling us Richelle trusts Aussie.
Okay, open your eyes.
A compass?
It's so if you ever feel lost, you'll always be able to find your way back home.
We've got Google Maps now, Aussie. Don't need a compass.
Is it cringy? It's cringy. You know what? I'll just take it back. It's totally okay.
No, it's beautiful. It's so good to know that I'll always be able to find my way back home.
I like the idea, you know, as much as I don't like them as an item. It's a nice idea. It's not overly cringy, but I like how Aussie acknowledged that it could be cringy. The delivery of Richelle's line, it's good to know that I'll always be able to find my way back home. Very wooden. No one says that. Come on, you don't just repeat the same thing that someone said to you. She should have just said, thank you, and thought it. Show it, don't tell it. You don't need to tell us that Richelle likes the present. Just show us by having her smile.
Rochelle and I have danced together for a long time. I'm really going to miss her.
I also love how Aussie's talking head says he's a property manager. He's a manager. He's like, at the very maximum, 18 years old. No experience, but he's a manager. He's not a property apprentice or works at his uncle's company. He's a manager.
Where do the batteries go?
Oh, Aussie, you goof. Where do the batteries go? Oh, Aussie.
3, 2, 1. I'm freaking out a little. Having Maria here is the last thing we need.
Am I late for the party? I saw the selfies being taken and I just couldn't resist.
They are very bad at surprises if they are all taking selfies at a surprise party and posting them before the person receiving the surprise has seen the surprise.
Lucian.
That's right. I'm back. And I partnered up with Maria.
Of course Maria's working with Lucian. They're two of the worst people in the dance world. They're a perfect match.
Right, another irk with this. Why is Aussie the one speaking out on Lucian first? Can we have Richelle speak out on Lucian first, seeing as she has actually met him? Because in season 3, she did the battles against Elite. She's met Lucian. She's been in his presence. Aussie's never been in Lucian's presence. No one has.
And if any of you would like to escape, join a winning team, I'm here to offer every A-Troop dancer a lifeboat. Come join me at Ultra Elite. If any of you would like to take me up on my offer, there might just be a national soloist slot available for you.
I feel like Lucian was mostly against Kate. Like he enjoyed winding up Kate. He's got nothing against these dancers or the studio. Like, why come back now? I know it's probably Maria has done her research or whatever and found out that he used to have a thing against them, so then teamed up with him. But it just seems like there's no reason to bring back Lucian. As much as I am excited to see him because he's an iconic character, like, it just doesn't seem like the same reasoning is there. Like, Lucian had a thing against Kate. Kate's not even there anymore.
Ciao!
Can you also imagine, right, if Nick was there? Like I said, Nick could easily have been in this episode, just in the office. When Maria comes in and Lucian comes in, Nick gets up and is like, guys, what are you doing in the studio? And kicks them out, gets all protective of his kids, has an argument back and forth with Lucian about why he's in the studio and who let him in. Emily definitely would have done that. And Nick would have probably stood behind her and been like, oh, conflict. So I would have liked to see him come out of the office, stand up to them, and all the dancers be like, wow, Nick, you're our hero. That would have been nice. Missed opportunity to give Nick some growth there. Because this isn't growth, sending him to Bora Bora and because he's in a relationship. What does that add? It adds another dimension to Nick, but a dimension we never asked for, and that doesn't really add anything to him, personally. That's what I think.
There's new eligibility guidelines. It says a newly formed team can go to nationals if more than half of the team's members have competed at regionals and qualified for nationals.
I think it's called plot armor, where just random things occur in the plot to make it make sense. So now there's new eligibility guidelines. Of course there is. Does that apply to the next step? Because half of them haven't gone to regionals. Or is it just newly? I know it said newly formed teams, but A Troop is a newly formed team, effectively. Half of them haven't been to nationals either, so this ultra elite team is probably more justified to go to nationals than this team is, because these guys didn't even qualify. So there's only Kenzie on the team, and she might not even be dancing, because I still don't understand whether she's just a captain or whether she's actually dancing.
There's a tiny footnote here. I must have missed it the first time. There's a new category at nationals called the professional division. It says the pro division will feature professional dancers competing to earn an extra 5 points for their home studio. That's a whole other category.
Plot armor, used to refer to the phenomenon in fiction whereby the main character is allowed to survive dangerous situations because they are needed for the plot to continue. AKA, I do think that Richelle cannot leave the next step since the inevitable plot armor is far too thick.
I just don't think this plot is very strong. It's just like all these random things have cropped up suddenly to make the plot more interesting, and they're not doing it for me.
How about we play Two Truths and a Lie?
I don't mind this either, playing a little game, because we don't know the A-Troopers very well. So this is a good way for them all to be in the same scene and for us to learn a little bit about each. But you'll soon see why I don't like this scene.
I have a pet tarantula named Wilbur. I can hold my breath for over a minute, and I'm half Polish, half Filipino.
You're lying.
I mean, yeah, that is the point of Two Truths and a Lie.
No, I'm Polish and Filipino.
You're Filipino?
Right, I don't understand what the lie was. What is Anthony's lie? Is the lie that he's Polish and Filipino? Because Jet then said, you're lying, I'm Polish and Filipino too, and then they got excited. But Anthony also said, that's the point of Two Truths and a Lie. So what is Anthony's lie? I was literally sat watching this, I was like, we're all now having a dance party, but what was Anthony's lie? Is he lying about his ethnicity? Or is he lying about the tarantula? Like, we've learnt more about Jet there, like what her culture and ethnicity is. But what is Anthony's lie? Can someone in the comments let me know what the lie was? Because it's Two Truths and a Lie. Anthony said, yeah, that's the point of Two Truths and a Lie, to tell a lie. But if he was lying about his ethnicity and culture, then why was Jet happy and why were they saying how they've bonded over it? It's like it hyped up that we're going to learn more, but now I've just learned less.
This is a place where you can make mistakes, where you can tell people how you're actually feeling and they're still going to be there for you. Grace, I promise you, Maria cannot give you that.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Good luck, Grace.
I would have liked it in that moment if maybe Grace asked him, like, so what are you doing now? And he's just like, just waiting for another opportunity to come around. And then that is what makes Grace think, right, well, I'm not getting what I want here. Heath's waiting for an opportunity. Maybe I'll go and Heath can join A-Troop. I know that he made it more so it's like Grace's decision wholly, but we also didn't get any growth from Heath there other than just that he's developed mentally. But like, what is he doing? Just sitting in the juice bar all day?
Heath was wrong. This team isn't here for me at all. No one even noticed I was gone.
throwback to season 3 when Noah goes away for like the whole episode, comes back and everyone's just square dancing and he's like, no one even noticed I was gone.
I don't even know about it. I thought I was a part of the team, but no one frankly told me. I mean, I've been in here all day practicing.
There's a lot of like scenes mirroring each other in this one episode alone.
I'm quitting A Troop. Wait, what?
And I'm not invested in Grace. I'm like, leave then. If you're just gonna sulk the whole time. Like, I get why she's sad. She's lost her friends. But she's still got friends on the team. And she won the spot fair and square. If she had an issue with it, she should have said earlier. Like, go then. Especially if you're gonna go and join Maria, who you know will be against the next step.
Wait, slow down. Let's just go in my office and we can talk about this.
Your office, Kenzie?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Are they in a business meeting? No one talks to their friends like that.
I'm gonna take down Maria, and I know exactly how.
How?
I'm gonna compete at nationals. But remember, there's a pro division. And I can win us an extra 5 points. Kenzie, you have to let me do this.
I would never ask Richelle to change her plans, but if she's up for this, who am I to stop her? Are you sure?
Very.
But is this guaranteed to settle it? Because if they win, surely Maria's just gonna go, well, I'll get you next time, the next step. And then come back again. Like, it's not even necessarily gonna do anything. They just need to go to nationals and prove to themselves that they're winners in their hearts, even if they don't win. But also, right, my main issue with this, and Richelle doing a complete U-turn, is Richelle, I wanted to stay at TNS because I felt like she had more. So that's not the issue for me, and I'm glad that she's still in the season. It's the fact that this girl said she was moving to LA. Has she got a place? Is she like rented an apartment? Has she signed letters? Has she signed contracts? Has she booked flights? Like, sorry, but me, a normal human being, if I'd booked a flight to a different country and I'd signed a contract to say I can live there and I'd sorted all my work visas and everything, I'm not just gonna say, do you know what, actually, I think I'll stay and I think I'll compete at nationals. No! Go!
With Grace gone, there's a spot left on A Troop. And knowing Maria, she took every possible good dancer.
Yeah. Kenzie. I want to join A Troop.
My first thought when Kenzie said that was Cleo, because I was like, Cleo wanted to be on the team, she auditioned for the team, didn't make the team, was offered an alternate spot, didn't want an alternate spot, she wanted to be a nationals dancer. And then who walks through the door? Mr. Heathcliff. So I would have really liked it if that was Cleo's opportunity to come back rather than Heath's. As much as I love Heath and I want him back, like, get Cleo back on the team. So yeah, let's discuss the episode. As you can tell from my comments and whatever, it's really not my favourite episode. And usually I really want to watch another and I'm like hooked. But I wasn't after I watched it. Especially when I'm just chilling and watching it and not having to film at the same time. I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch another one, sure. But I didn't want to watch another one after that because it just irked me so much. There were so many things that irritated me. And I was just like, why is this happening? It feels like we had the big hype of Step Inside and then the plot suddenly went back to zero again. Rather than it staying on a high and being really, really intense. I would have really liked it if A Troop really stepped up their game and that opening dance was absolutely incredible. It just felt pretty bog standard, to be honest. There was not much. Was there any unison? There was a little bit, yeah. But if that dance had been even more intense, Kenzie was really on it with getting them in shape. Nick had been there, getting them into shape also. When Maria and Lucian come in, Nick chucks them out because they left anyway. So Nick would be the one to get rid of them. Richelle would really want to help. Okay, so she'd have the yogurt commercial, but she wouldn't have booked anything else. So she's like job searching. And then she gets the idea to go pro at nationals and compete in that division to help TNS. That'd be really nice because it really welcomes her onto the team. Without having this promise of, oh, she's moving to LA today. No one in their right mind would drop their entire plans, unless Richelle is rich, which we assume most of the TNS dancers are because there's never any concept of money. Like, she can't just drop, even if you're rich though, you can't just back out of like renting an apartment and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that was a bit silly, and I'm sure Moxie wouldn't be very happy with that as well. A client like rejecting a job after they've committed to it and stuff. Two Truths and a Lie had so much potential. Like, we learned more about Pete, who we didn't need to learn more about because he had screen time already. We learned something about Anthony, and then it wasn't even clear what his lie was. We learned about Jet, who I am wanting to see a bit more of, because I think they're quite a strong character. But then they burst out into a random dance party. It was just very odd, really, and I don't know how to feel. More than anything, it's the fact that Nick isn't even in the country, because I can see absolutely zero reasoning for that. But yeah, just disappointed, really. If I rated it out of 10, I'd maybe give it, I don't even know, like a 5. Sorry, guys. But I know that a lot of you like when my opinions are a little bit controversial and when they're a little bit more negative, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did enjoy watching, and comment down below what you thought of the very first episode. Please don't leave any spoilers for anything past this point, because I've done really well. I haven't seen too many spoilers. There's one for Nationals, but I saw that absolutely ages ago, so I'm not too cut up about it. But literally nothing about the rest of the season I really know. So yeah, no spoilers please, but make sure you subscribe because I'm going to react to every single episode of season 8. I'm off to Hobbycraft to buy some bits for my trees now. Have a lovely day if you've got the rest of the day, or have a nice sleep. Totally up to you. I'll see you later. Bye.